Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News. Champions is coming along nicely. 3 big matches yesterday we're going to talk about the results and the implications of, but also the big talking point of the last few days has been, will OpTic Gaming break up regardless of what happens here at the World Championship? Is there something going on behind the scenes that's going to force this team to break up? Tarek, Shroud, all these guys have given their thoughts on it over the last few days, but Yay is effectively denying these accusations and saying his tweets that people are reading so much into actually have nothing to do with anything. But very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you are new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that one. Let's just dive straight into things then. Firstly, just wanted to say some good news I thought from Sick, because we're hoping really that Sick will be able to return to the starting roster of the Sentinels sooner rather than later. And well, usually what he's done the last couple of months or so, he's come back on stream for a couple of days and then he's effectively, like stepped away again for another month or so. But he came back about a week or so ago, streamed for about 3 or 4 days, and now he's actually streaming again. So hopefully that's a good sign that Sick is continuing to feel better. Now this was the key tweet from Yay. Interesting times ahead after the World Championship from a few days ago. People were looking into and saying, wow, okay, this could be implying something for either the OpTic roster going into next year or with the OpTic roster as it currently stands, because we believe that Victor and Crashies, their contracts may be up during or shortly after the World Championship. So I suppose we'll see on that one. But yeah, that was kind of the key tweet. Now, of course, Yay has been killing it so far this tournament, right? It's arguably the best chamber player in the world. He's got a phenomenal rating. They made it through without too much difficulty. They did lose one map to Boom, but after that, they took down Loud relatively convincingly the enemy. It was a close series, of course, it always is, with OpTic and Loud play each other. But yeah, OpTic once again through to the playoffs. No issues for them for now, and they advanced to the top 8 to try and, defend their title. Well, not really defend their title, but you guys know what I mean. They won Masters 1. It was FBX that won Masters 2, so you've got to think that those two teams, if they do indeed make it, as FBX can today, if things go their way up against xNed, then these two teams, of course, will be in the playoff bracket to try and make something happen yet again. Didn't quite get the result they wanted last time out. But of course, yes, the last few days, people looked at a tweet. I think the Yay tweet the Yay tweet came out and said, my response to the allegations with a colon after it, and then didn't say anything. Now, when I first saw this, I thought, okay, this guy's just joking around. But Shroud and Tarek and these guys were bringing it up on stream, kind of implying that there was something seriously going on here. And of course, Shroud was giving the opinion that Marved might not be allowed to play because of prior match-fixing allegations back in CS. So I thought it was interesting that was kind of the leap that Shroud went to, but it's probably understandable because maybe he knows more than we do, right? You can only assume that these guys maybe have a better idea as to what's going on than we do, and suggesting that these kind of match-fixing allegations might not be what Riot wants to have. And there's also been some talk that Riot might have said, well, these guys, we're not going to outright ban them from the league, but we can kind of get an agreement from the teams to not sign these guys. And that might be why OpTic split up. The other thing we looked at yesterday was that maybe there's better offers out there, right, for more money that these players would want to go to after Champions, but that seems less likely, especially if they win the entire event. So that has kind of been the rumor the last few days. Yay, however, is kind of denying this, right? He says, my tweet was a meme. Why are people looking into it so deep? So he's effectively denying that there's anything really to talk about here that's actually going on. Now, just because, he says that his tweet that he made specifically, let's say with regard to the allegations or whatever, it wasn't really referring to anything, as we kind of theorize, does that necessarily mean that nothing is going on? Not necessarily, right? There could easily still be something happening, but his particular tweet was not referring to it. So, it's difficult to kind of say, but EA is kind of saying here that, look, all you guys are reading into this too deep. The guy's saying, okay, Marv's going to get banned for match-fixing allegations, stuff like this. It's not really, if it is the case, it's not relevant to that tweet, and the tweet actually has nothing to do with what might be going on. So at least reducing the likelihood that this stuff is actually happening. Now, look, still, after this event, we shall see. No team, of course, is safe from potential roster changes, but yeah, these are the thoughts that Yay is presently giving. Before we talk champions, just wanted to mention real quick what exactly is going on from the EMEA kind of franchising side. Speculation, further speculation, keynote speculation from Bodog onto what might happen here in franchising going forwards. I believe he's changed this somewhat since last time we looked at it. So Fnatic, the Koi Rogue partnership still going on. Big, Na'Vi, Karmine Corp, Liquid, Vitality, either BBL or Footballers will be the Turkish team. Then I believe this is the new Team Heretics logo, and G2 as well. If G2 go to America, now there's some other teams. I believe he swapped around some of these teams and put someone down to this category and brought Heretics in maybe. So yes, he believes that these will be the teams that get through to EMEA franchising next year. Of course, still no FPX, right? A kind of a big deal given how good they have been as a team, but their organization might not make the cut, right? It doesn't necessarily matter how good your team is if your org doesn't have what it takes. xNed, of course, also seemingly unlikely to make it. They were playing Xerxia last night, or well, at the start of the day, actually. It's quite a while ago now. And yeah, really close series. We had some great series yesterday, even though they were largely 2-0s. What an attempted play here from Surf, but it's BCJ eventually that gets the kill with fractions on the clock, and it's 13-11 in favor of xNed. And then game 2, xNed super close game again, but yeah, zyppan was making some serious plays to take down the Xerxia guys. So they really put up a good fight. I think they came in here as probably one of the least favorite teams from this group to make a serious run at it. And yeah, in the end, this probably shouldn't have gone the way of zyppan, but zyppan completes the clutch regardless, and they end up taking the series 2-0. The second series was absolutely fantastic. FPX versus Crew. These were the two teams I picked to make it out of this group. It was again the 9-3 curse man. It's happened again. It was 9-3 to Crew after the first half. FPX bring it back. They force the overtime in the end, and then they take the overtime. And look at this play from Shao as well. Like, that was just absolutely absurd to force the overtime. It goes 14-12 in the end in favor of FPX. Shao was making plays. Like, this guy's clutch factor is just on another level, to be honest. So yes, FPX, like, Crew look really good here. I'm excited to see what they will do for the rest of this tournament. But yeah, FPX, if they're playing like this, like, they are going to be very difficult indeed to stop, especially because some teams, they can take some time sometimes to warm up in tournaments. And yeah, I hope Crew make it through as well, because they were, honestly, on this evidence, what we saw yesterday, these should probably be the two strongest teams in the group. But of course, anything can happen. It's rather difficult to predict. But FPX, in the end, just about take the game too. Both games incredibly close. Steel actually reckons FPX is still winning champs, even though Angel seems to aim at the floor more than I do. It's like, yeah, Angel, what, 32, 33 years of age now, still captaining, IGLing this team to great success. Good to see. They are one series away from making it through. They play xNed in just a few hours' time. The final series was an absolute banger. This was, I thought 100 Thieves might be able to come out on top here, but dear, like, this was, I think I did say this was the group of death when it was announced, because I think it's really tough to call the two best teams. DRX is certainly one of them. Will it be 100 Thieves or Fnatic that get through the other side, or even the other squad in the group? We'll see that here in a second. But I mean, yeah, this was like such an absurd game of breeze, man. It went to overtime, and then like it seemed like DRX were gonna win. It seems like 100 Thieves were gonna win. And look at this play actually here. So 2 versus 3. Somehow Will takes down RB, and then it's a 2v2. The taps try and come through. Will clutches the 1 versus 2, gets the plant in as well after time. 16-16 in the end. Just about DRX take a crazy overtime, like 18-16 or something. And then game 2, like Bang was making some good plays early on, but actually DRX pretty much dominated this map. And this was, I think this is really where like 100 Thieves probably realized they needed to win that first map on the breeze, because DRX are very good at this map. But honestly, it was really sloppy plays from 100 Thieves. Several rounds that they should have definitely won that didn't go their way. This one was a great example, actually. Maybe I'll just try and bring this up on the big screen. Look at the buy that DRX have. They've basically just got pistols, and they just go flying in. Asuna goes flying, and he gets taken down. They just die to classics, effectively, and end up losing the round. So yeah, definitely a messy one here from 100 Thieves to lose. When they lost this and RB kind of pulls out the Neon Ultimate, it was like, yeah, wow, they should not have lost that one, from having basically no utility to going from a 4v4 to a like 3v0. Like, yeah, that's not in 100 Thieves' best interests. They know full well they played some pretty sloppy Valorant here, but of course, well, they go next. But it does mean, like, this is pretty big for 100 T, right? And also Fnatic losing in the way they did means that only one of those two teams can make it out through this group. And if 100 T were to play Fnatic again, then of course we know what happened the first time around. So this is the bracket as it presently stands. I don't really understand, you guys are mentioning this in the comments, why Group D was played out before Group C. So the qualification teams were Leviathan, OpTic, of course DRX, and today we get the fourth one, but for some reason it went A, B, D, and then C. So whatever, right a while, and I suppose. But yes, FPX versus xNed, tough for me to look past FPX here. xNed looked great against Xerxia, don't get me wrong, but FPX I think are on a new level, and I do expect Crew to beat Xerxia, but of course they don't play quite today. The other games, of course, Furia will play Fnatic tomorrow, and then a few days time we get the decider game between 100T and maybe Fnatic, maybe Furia, to determine the second team that qualifies. So yes, good for DRX. These guys honestly looked really good. Definitely want to give them their credit, because I think they played fantastic yesterday up against 100 Thieves, a team that you know, obviously could be expected to come out through this group. I thought it was really tough to call. I thought the 100 T might just get there in the ends, but maybe this is where DRX finally come good, right? Because this Korean team, like, there's been so much hype around these guys for quite some time. They usually make it quite deep in these tournaments, but then fall short in like the top 6, top 4 range. Maybe this is finally the time for them to come up clutch, because they were showing some good clutch factor yesterday, there's no doubt about it, on the biggest of stages. These are the other games today then. So September the 4th, these are the other two. Boom versus Zeta. I feel like Boom, I should slightly favor them here. They look pretty good against OpTic. Zeta haven't really shown me that much faith so far. So, you know, I'm going to take Boom to win this one and get to the decider against Loud. And then this is the really tough one to call for me. Edward versus Liquid, because I predicted Liquid and Paper X to be the two teams getting out of this group. I could very feasibly go 0-2 here. Edward looked really good up against Paper X, so I really don't know how to call this one. I think I'm going to take Liquid to win like 2-1. Really really close game. But honestly, I don't know. It would look great against Paper X in that first map of the series, especially really took them the distance. And yeah, those are going to be my predictions, but honestly, I don't trust myself very much indeed. And these from Will Minder to finish out the video, but very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button, tells the YouTube gods this is a good video, and I was like you should see it as well, and upgrade the competitive Valorant community. Thank you for watching as always, take care, and I'll see you next time.